Dear students, I am Binoy Thomas, your biology teacher. From today onwards, we are going to start our online classes. And in this first session, I would like to recollect what we have learned in our previous classes. We learned about various life processes. And I hope that all of you can recollect the definition of life process. Here is the definition. Life processes are those basic functions performed by each and every living organism in order to maintain their life on this earth. What we can see here is that the life processes are same as the characteristics of a living organism. In lower classes, we have learned about the various characteristics of a living organism. Can you recollect some of the characteristics of a living organism? These are some of the important characteristics, or we can say life processes exhibited by each and every living organism. They include nutrition, transportation, respiration, excretion, reproduction, and metabolism. There are also various other important life processes such as movement, growth, reproduction, control and coordination, and response to stimulus. In this chapter, we are not going to talk about all these life processes in detail. We will be focusing our attention on only 4 life processes, namely nutrition, respiration, transportation, and excretion. So, first of all, let us discuss about nutrition. What is nutrition? And what is the important role played by nutrition in our body? In simple terms, we can define nutrition as the process by which the body takes in and uses food. We can have a better definition of nutrition. It's a process of obtaining food or nutrients by an organisms, as well as the utilization of these nutrients by the bodies of the organisms. So, in nutrition we can see 2 things happening. First of all, the organism is obtaining its food by various means, and secondly, these foods or nutrients are broken down and utilized by the bodies of the organisms. So, we have already learned about what is nutrition. Now, another important question that is coming to our mind is that what is the need of nutrition, or what is the importance of nutrition? So, in order to understand the importance of nutrition, we should first have an idea about what are the different nutrients that we obtain through food. Nutrients are those essential substances or materials that our body obtains from food and which are essential for the functioning of human body. And we have learned in the lower classes that we can classify the nutrients into various types based on their functions. The important nutrients that we get from our food are carbohydrates, proteins, fat, vitamins, minerals, and water. And these nutrients can be classified into different types based on their functions in our body. For example, carbohydrates and fats are classified as energy giving food. Proteins are considered as body building food. Vitamins and minerals are considered as protective food. So from this, we can understand what are the functions or the roles played by these nutrients in our body. Now let us have a quick look at the various modes of nutrition. What do you mean by modes of nutrition? Modes of nutrition means the methods of obtaining food by an organisms. We can also name it as the type of nutrition. And as you know, or as you have learned, there are two types of or two modes of obtaining food or two modes of nutrition. They are autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. What do you mean by autotrophic nutrition? It is the mode of nutrition by which certain organisms are able to prepare their own food by the process called photosynthesis or chemosynthesis. And in heterotrophic nutrition, the heterotrophs are not able to produce their food, but they depend on other organisms for their nutritional requirements. And that mode of nutrition in which certain organisms depends or feed on other organisms for their food is called heterotrophic nutrition. All those organisms which are able to prepare their own food are called autotrophs. And as we have already learned, there are two types of autotrophs: photosynthetic autotrophs and chemosynthetic autotrophs. Green plants are considered as photosynthetic autotrophs because they prepare their food by the process called photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, plants take inorganic compounds such as carbon dioxide and water and convert these inorganic substances into organic substances like glucose or carbohydrate with the help of solar energy. And in chemosynthesis, the organisms prepare their food or obtain their energy by the breaking down of chemical substances. So there are two types of autotrophic nutrition: photosynthesis and chemosynthesis. As we have completed our discussion on autotrophic nutrition during our previous classes, now we are moving on to the next mode of nutrition, that is heterotrophic nutrition. The word heterotrophic is the combination of two words, that is hetero and tropos. Hetero means others and tropos means nourishment or feeding. So we can say that heterotrophic mode of nutrition is the type of nutrition in which the organisms are depending on other organisms for their food. And generally, animals are considered as heterotrophs. Apart from animals, all non-green plants are also considered, non-green plants like fungus are also considered as heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are those organisms that cannot make their own food. So how do they meet their energy requirements? They meet their energy requirements by feeding on autotrophs directly or other heterotrophs who eat autotrophs. Because of this, we can also call the heterotrophs as consumers. Depending upon the type of food consumed, there are different types of heterotrophs such as herbivores, carnivores, omnivores, detritivores and decomposers. Herbivores are those organisms or those heterotrophs which feed on plants, and carnivores, they eat animals. Omnivores, they eat both plants and animals. Detritivores, they feed on dead matter. Decomposers also feed on dead organic matter, but unlike detritivores, They secrete the digestive enzymes outside their body and partially digest this organic matter, and after partially digesting the food outside their body, they are taking the food inside their body. Examples of decomposers are bacteria and fungi. Let us now talk about the various types of heterotrophic nutrition. We can divide the heterotrophic nutrition into three types, namely holozoic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition, and parasitic nutrition. The holozoic nutrition is that nutrition in which an organism takes the complex organic food material into its body by the process called ingestion, and then this complex organic matter is broken down inside the body by a process called digestion. After digestion, the nutrients are absorbed and assimilated within the body, and then the waste things are ejected outside the body of organisms. Examples of organisms which carry out holozoic mode of nutrition include human beings, animals, and insectivorous plants. The second type of heterotrophic nutrition is saprotrophic nutrition. Those organisms which are carrying out saprotrophic nutrition are called saprophytes, and the saprophytes feed on dead and decaying organic matter, and before feeding or before taking in these dead and decaying organic matter, they partially digest this organic matter by releasing enzymes, and after that they taking this partially digested food into their body. And examples of saprophytes include bacteria and fungi. And in the third type of nutrition, that is parasitism, the parasites obtains food from the bodies of living organisms. They obtain the digested food or the ready-made food from the bodies of the living organisms without killing the host organisms. So the parasites, they depend on the host organisms for their nutritional requirements, and they may be found to be present either within the body of the organism or on the body of the organism. If parasites are present within the body of an organism, they are called endoparasites, and if they are found on the body of an organism, they are called ectoparasites. There are also plant parasites such as cuscuta, and animal parasites such as plasmodium and tapeworms, which are causing various diseases in human beings. So examples of parasites include fleas, lice, tapeworms, etc. Before winding up today's session, let us have a quick recap of what we have learned today. We have learned about what is nutrition. We have also learned about various modes of nutrition such as autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. And we mainly focused our attention on heterotrophic mode of nutrition because we had discussed in detail about autotrophic mode of nutrition during our previous classes. And then we talked about the different types of heterotrophs such as herbivore, carnivore, omnivore, detritivore, and decomposers. And finally, we discussed about the different types of heterotrophic nutrition such as holozoic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition, and parasitic nutrition. And in the next session, we will be discussing about the holozoic nutrition in detail, that is holozoic nutrition carried out by 3 different organisms such as amoeba, paramecium, and human beings.